Now today's episode of Can I Beat the Retro Pole Lap is a very special one as we go to San Marino back 21 years ago, where Jenson Button in 2004 bagged his first ever Formula One pole position, and it was a pretty spectacular lap, also by his own admission of one of his finest bits of driving in his career. Now the lap itself, a 1 minute 19.7, beat Michael Schumacher, who was second by 0.3. However, there's a small catch. Fuel was part of the qualifying equation back in 2004. Drivers, cars, had to start their final or their best qualifying lap with their race starting fuel load. So in this case, looking at the historical data sheet, Jenson Button in the race boxed on lap 9. So he had 9 laps of fuel, give or take, worth in the car when he did his qualifying lap. So we're going to have to factor that in when we do our eventual final attempt and go flat out. So that out of the way, we're going to talk about the track, slightly revised layout for you newer fans out there who didn't know back in the day. There was a few more chicanes, and also some of the ones that we currently have were a lot quicker. So the lap times were a little bit slower because the layout was a bit longer, but this is the big part why. So the current pit straight used to be a chicane. So let's get to it and let's begin and let's see how we get on. First lap of the day, and it's not the best start. Right, come on, let's get to it. Default setup. We'll make adjustments in a bit. No idea where to brake really, just trying to figure this out on the fly. Nicely done there through the first Tamburello chicane, now into the Villeneuve chicane. Tidy, not bad. Now for the Tosa hairpin. Bit of understeer on the way in, but we do grip up mid-corner and get the exit. Up the hill we go. Piratella. Could have carried a bit more speed there. Took a bit too much inside curb. Down into Acqua Minerale. Oh! First spin of the day. Back end just went completely round. We'll try again. Now for starters, we're going to make sure we actually get a good start to the lap and not put it on the grass. So out of the last chicane, there we go. Tidy start. Now we can get underway. Down to Tamburello. Oh, a bit of a slide on the way in there, try to carry a bit more speed. Didn't quite work out, but we keep it going into Villeneuve. Nice, a little bit aggressive on that inside curb there. Car feels a little bit unsettled over these high curbs. Tosa there, that understeer kicking in again, and I went even further wide this time as we miss our apex. Piratella, let's push the speed a bit more through here. A bit too much, luckily we get away with it. Once again, here we go. Acqua Minerale had to get the car straightened up there before the second apex to make sure we didn't spin around. So the car feels a little bit on edge. And now for the chicane. No idea what sort of speed to take, but it's way quicker than the current version. We'll try and figure that out as we go along and find the right line and the right gear. Let's get a lap on the board though. Down to the Ravazzas. Break up the last Foster's board on the right side, although we overcommit. So a bit of a scruffy lap again. Second Ravazza, that'll do. And now into the final chicane. Second gear. Over the curbs. Oh, a bit wide again. 125.2. Car does not like those high curbs. And we are best part of 6 seconds off. Now then, we're going to make some very quick adjustments initially. So obviously the gearbox is going to be brought down considerably because we don't have the same sort of pitch straight as we do nowadays. So we're going to bring it down significantly. We're going to whack some soft tyres on our car. We're going to put the rear pressures and the fronts up a little bit. Fuel, you can see that we have 15 laps, so we can put the fuel down. So I'm going to drop it to 10 laps of fuel because we need a little bit in the reserve. We might fine tune that and get that a bit closer in a bit, as we do have to make some wing adjustments. Traction will keep the same. I am going to put the wing up by 3 clicks front and rear, and then we're going to just make a small adjustment to the brake bars there, down a click, and we're going to see how this all feels. I'm actually going to also just put the ride height down a little on the rear end. So let's go with that and see how that feels. So there's a ton of time to find, not just with car setup, which we've made, but, you know, just driving the lap a bit better, a bit cleaner. So let's get into it. We should run a bit higher gearing now with the shorter gearbox. Away we go. Forgot to bring the delta up, but we'll get that up for the next run, as this isn't going to be our final lap by any means. Right, into Tamburello, aggressive there over those curbs, especially that first one. Oh, back end getting a bit loose on the way out. Real nerve. Trying to set up the exit, that's good. Purple first, in a little bit deep into Tosa. Also missed a downshift there, but not too bad so far. Lap has been tidy enough. Piratella. That's more like it. Decent bit of inside curb, but not too much. And now Aquaminarale. A little bit out of control. The car just wants to get away there mid-corner through the first apex. So we've got to watch out for that regardless of car setup. And now to the chicane. Just launch it and have the confidence. 2 purple sectors. Still got a fair few bit to go yet. Into the Ravazzas. That's more like it. That's what I'm talking about. That first one. Second one, a little bit wide, and a little bit of understeer. Had to wait to get the throttle on the way out. And now for the last chicane. Gonna try third and see how that feels. Over the line. Okay, 23.0. Decent improvement. Not as much as I thought, but it's enough. So for this one, I will go down one more on the gearbox. I think 305 top speed should be fine. Tyres worked okay, so we're going to leave that like that for now. You can see our fuel now has updated, so we're going to leave that also as is, because I might go up on the wing a little bit more. So 2 more clicks. I think that's going to be it though for wing adjustment. I'm not going to go too much higher than that. And then we can start messing around with other settings and values. We're going to bring the diff coast down to 20% to try and get a bit more rotation mid-corner. Braking I'm happy with. I'm going to drop the ride height some more on the rear by 3, and also going to soften up this roll bar on the rear and the front and see how that feels. And I'm going to shift the brake bias back up to 56 just to try and get the car a bit more on the front end in the braking. So let's go. Let's try and find some more time. This time we've got the delta, so we know what we're working with, although that wasn't the best start. I get a lot of power on understeer when I open up throttle, which isn't ideal. Right, through the first chicane. Oh, it's a lot tidier on the curbs, but no real time gain from it, just a bit more aesthetic. Through Villeneuve, back end snapping away, pretty much identical first sector. Tosa wasn't as good there, got some understeer. It's when I put the power down, the car washes out a lot. Piratella, 5th gear that time, trying something different. Oh, it's a little bit better through Aquaminarale, definitely some time there of course. Time for the Variante Alta chicane. Going in 4th gear, but the back end slides mid-corner. Haven't quite got the balance right here, let's keep pushing though. Nah, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with it. I'm going to get creative a little bit. So I've made quite a few adjustments, but let's see if they get put into practice. If it works well, I'll show you what I've done, and we'll build from that. Just got to watch out for that power on understeer, basically, and try and incorporate that into my driving style around it. Here we go then. Underway. Tamburello, tidy enough. That's a little bit wide on the way out though, that's a shame. Good to find a 10.5 there. Into Villeneuve. Another couple of tenths. Had to really dig deep on the setup menu, but I think we've found something, although we had a bit of a poor Tosa hairpin. Piratella, a little bit of time gain there. It's Aquaminarale, man. The car just, I think maybe it bottoms out. I don't know. Either way, even on the preset it did it, but it bottoms out and just slides. I can't keep it under control. I've got no confidence going in there. Right, come on, let's try and get this lap together. We know there's a decent bit of time. I want to say there's at least maybe 1.5 seconds if we put it all together, but it's proven a real challenge around here today to get it all right. Away we go. Come on then. Let's try and sort this out. Tamburello. That's a better start. That's more like it. Come on. Now Villeneuve. A bit of a slide, but we're cooking. Come on. So it's a hairpin. I feel like I can't quite get that right. I mean, I was matching, but we just lost it on the exit there. Curatella, that was nice. That was tidy. That was good. Minerale, that's more like it. Got to try and maybe attack that curb a little bit more on the inside. Now for the chicane. Gonna go 4th gear. Probably 3rd. Time gain on the way in, but lost it on the way out. Didn't get the apex there at the first Ravazza, but we got the second one. There's a bit of time there. Okay, this is a bit better. Come on. Our chicane up to the line. 22.1. Still ways off, but 2.5 seconds, just under. But that feels a lot better. The car feels in the right direction now. I don't know if we're going to get a couple of seconds off the time, but it feels nicer to drive. Right, let's see. Final few adjustments now. After this, we're going to go probably into full sweat mode, if this is a half decent lap. Let's just try and get to the 121s. Let's take it one target, one objective at a time. Let's get into it. Come on. Good start. Come on, let's keep it moving. We know there's time at the hairpin, but we're flying already in the first sector. Giving up a bit of the entry to try and gain on the exit. That's not bad. Curatella. Oh yes, right, come on. Please, let's hold on to it here. Oh, a little bit wide, lost some time. That's a shame, understeer. Over the chicane, try and 4th gear again. Do gain a little bit that time. I'm running a little bit shorter of the gearbox compared to the last lap, so makes more sense. Oh no, lost it. Ran it in a bit deep. We're getting a bit out of the second Ravazza, so there's quite a bit of time to be found. Fully sending the car into the last chicane there. And we do... Oh, I thought I was going to get a 21, but we're not quite. Right, I don't think we can beat the time. But I think there's still maybe even up to a second, maybe even more. Maybe, just maybe, I could break into the 120s. But I think JB's time is going to be out of the question. Anyway, I'm going to show you my setup I'm working with. And we're going to basically just try and do laps. Now for this one, and for the foreseeable runs, I'm going to kind of stick with the setup the same and be consistent and try and get quicker. So... this is the gearbox. I've done quite a few individual adjustments, so freeze frame and take a screenshot and follow those. Tyres, I'm going to go with a pretty big offset on pressure, front to rear. Fuel is locked in, and then we're going to also run on the wing. I'm going to take a chance and go one up on the front, one down on the rear to try and find a bit more of an aggressive edge on the setup. Alignment, I've gone very aggressive on the toe on the front, on the rear, a bit more conservative. Dampers, I've had a little slight tweak of the bump and the ST bump on the front. Drivetrain, I've knocked the diffs down and brought the preload up a little bit. Brake bars 56 still, and then heave dampers I've left unchanged for now. Ride heights are super low, and also roll bars are on the minimum. I'm going to drop the ride height on the rear by 2 more clicks here for this one, and then that's pretty much it. But we've gone full change on everything. A little bit of a slide. Lost a 10th, come on. Oh, back end got loose on me. Scruffy end. Scruffy end. I think a 120 is going to be tricky, but possible. on a perfect lap. But oh my god, we're working it around here. That was good. Nope. Ugh, it's frustrating me now. Next lap might be the one if I get a 95% decent one. Oh my god, I hate that corner, man. I hate it. Too deep. I'll take it. That was a lap where we pretty much put it all together. 21-0. And that leaves us 1.3 seconds off JB's time, which is still insane. There's probably a 120 there, but it's really frustrating me around here. It's impossible to get a perfect lap. Now, for the final time, we're going to break down the final car setup. So I made a custom gearbox, so feel free to screenshot and take those values. Just making sure we top out at the end of the straight on 7th gear. Tyres, pressures, same as before. Fuel, I went down by a click to 9.2, pushing the limit a little bit. Traction, I actually opened it up to 2 to have a bit less traction control to try and have a bit better rear end for certain parts of the lap. Wing 1929, alignment, camera on the front all the way to the left, toe all the way to the right, very aggressive settings. The rear was much more centered and conservative because the rear was very unstable. Dampers, I messed around with the bumps a little bit on the front end and the rear end. Drivetrain, minimum on the front diff and the diff coast, and then the preload up a little bit. Brake bars 56. Heave dampers, default suspensions, pretty aggressive as well on the roll bar and the wheel rate and the ride height all round. And then suspension advanced, default. Anyway guys, there we go, there's the video, hopefully you enjoyed, and comment down below suggestions, especially more retro vintage ones that you think I should do. Also check out the playlist on my channel guys, I may have already done the lap you want to see, so check out my channel playlist guys of this entire series because I think it's worth a watch. Anyway, cheers for watching, mods linked down below, like the video, subscribe, it massively helps these out in the algorithm. As always, a big shout out to my members of the channel. Check out the 2 videos on screen as well for more content, and I'll see you guys in my next one very soon. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao.